Yes, welcome to the Mwegas show. I hope the audio iko poa and you can hear me. My name is Kamau wa Mwega, Mr. Goody Goody. Leo tunafanya church service. Right? I've been brainstorming as in because I really wanted to be doing my like a separate live on Sunday during the day as from 11 ish hapo. That is uncensored, that mali tunakuja tunajiwachilia, where we come and really share our thoughts. Because I do PG live where I have guests. That is on Sunday at 9 p.m. where we have guests on the show and we discuss. So that's how we engage. We converse. We get different perspectives from the guests about the issues. Now, I really wanted to have um, my own kind of show or live where I get to just sit down and actually just talk. And I've been brainstorming about how do I title it. So you will kind of see like every Sunday until I decide which one I'm going with. You will keep seeing different labels, right? You'll keep seeing different labels. So let me see if we really are live and if everything is going according to plan. I'm just checking upper candle to see what's happening, just to ensure that because hapa natumia wifi sometimes huwa iko shaky and I see it's playing between 1 bar and 2 bars. So yeah, just a little while as my main computer. Let me even check kwa simu if this thing is happening. I'm seeing even the computer is slow. Yeah, I see audio iko sawa, everything is okay. So let me just funga that nini. Anyway, sawa sawa. Now this is what welcome to whoever is on. Welcome. My name is Kamau wa Mwegas. This is the Mwegas show. And as I was saying before, I've been thinking about doing a live during the day that is going to more or less um, be about my thoughts, uncensored, because I don't have guests on, but I don't know how this show is going to metamorphosize to become. But this is it. So welcome. This is uncensored. So I think Saini may label something like church service or something. I don't know. Welcome to the service. Yes. So Leo, I want us to talk about a couple of things, and as always, number one, hii show ya kukuja kutafuta wisdom. Don't come looking for wisdom here. That's number one. Number two, so if for wisdom, please go to your father, go to your guka. Those are the people who owe you with wisdom. I don't owe you wisdom. This is my space where I come, I share my thoughts. You might not like the thoughts. I can most definitely predict that you will not like the thoughts. But what I want to do is just share them, and then we can have an engagement, a discussion about the issues, because these are the issues that are going to which affect us and also affect other people. And being a man, it's not about I identify as a man. Being a man, because I know I'm a man. I was born a boy. I was born male. I was born a boy. I grew up all my life, being male and having the men experience. So my perspective will be about men and men's issues and how I, as a man, perceive the world and how I interpret the world. So don't come here bringing feelings, right? Don't come bringing feelings. I'm seeing that e camera the way in a capture the color, it's not the best, but hey, until to get better cameras. Welcome to my world of brokenness. So one, this is not a place where you come to get wisdom. Two, this one is going to definitely contain strong language. Contain strong language. So if you are a person who ukisikia jina, you know, the strong words, you start having high blood pressure, you start having almost having a coronary, almost having a cow. Please exit right now. Exit right now. Also, this is going to be extremely opinionated. Extremely opinionated. So if you can't hack hearing strong opinions, leave. Okay. And like I said, this will be a man's from a man's perspective. So if you're of the other gender of Jezebel and Delilah, just relax. Okay. Don't take it too hard. If you have questions, hey, you can ask. You can ask questions. So don't sit there and catch feelings and nice. Let's see how far this one will take us until all hell breaks loose. I think my house internet has gone down. Hopefully this one will stay with us long enough because I'm not really sure what is happening, but I'll keep checking the main comp to see if we get back. So highly opinionated. Yeah. Uh, Apologies. Um, the internet just went down, and hopefully it will not do that again. So, luckily, we were just in the beginning, and apologies to those people who will have seen a long blank video. So, rules number one: there is no. This is not where you nini. Wait a minute. This is not a place for you to come to get nini to get uh, wisdom. That's number one. Number two, this one will be very, 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 very. What do I want to say? This one will have strong language. Okay, and number three, these are personal opinions, so don't start going crazy because you saw me doing something else somewhere, and then now you see me saying this, and then you say, I can't believe that this person holds these views. This is an opportunity for us to engage, to discuss, to converse. If you will be watching, or if you will manage to join this live, and you feel, or you think, or you believe that you have a counterpoint to what I'm saying, then I will welcome you to come. I will send you the link. You come. We engage, like right here at that moment, because at the end of the day, what is important is the engagement, is the discussion, is the uh, you know the pushback. You get different perspectives, I get different perspectives, we move on. Sawa sawa. Hopefully very soon I will get me a nice camera, and by soon it is in the next 2 to 5 years. So yes, now this is going to be very, very, very emotional to a lot of people. So before you start getting all emotional, and you start um, going out of your mind because I said something you disagree with, or I said something that you cannot believe. You cannot believe that somebody can say that. Well, have you met me? Have you met me? So let's start on a very, very high note. Sawa, Kenya and our fight for independence, or our alleged fight for independence. Let me just lean back kwa ukuta because this one I think I'm growing old, so my bones are getting out of hand the way that I behave. Anyway, now let's talk about Kenya. Let's talk about Kenya and the narratives that have been told through history, through revisionist history, and through first-hand counts. And I want to go back pre pre-colonialization, right? Pre-colonialization, there was no Kenya. Hey, I'm Kikuyu. So colonialization, let's just say that so that it can be easier for my tongue. Colonialism, colonialization. Before the missionaries came, before the British came and colonized us as Kenyans, there was no Kenya. Let's first of all agree on that. There was no land called Kenya. We were just different communities in our different lands, fighting with others, collaborating with others, trading with others. So there was no Kenya. So now when we say uh, Kenyans fight for freedom, number one. So who are we talking about? Because the identity Kenya is a colonial identity. They came, they drew those borders on the map, and they called this land Kenya. That's what happened. So Kenya, number one, is a colonial construct, and I am not using construct like this weirdos who use everything. Oh, that's a social construct. That's a social construct, as if everything is not a social construct. Okay, everything is a social construct. Let's look at religion, social construct. Look at society, social construct. Look at marriage, social construct. Look at uh, the way we have identified genders, social construct. The way we have identified sex, social construct. Everything is a social construct. So when people just come and start throwing social construct willy nilly, to use the words of uh, Inspector Raymond, okay, everything is a social construct. Let's start with that there. Even biology, even science is a social construct, because science is a creation of a society. So if a society creates something, then that's the definition of a social construct. So even science is a social construct. So let me now go back to Kenya being a colonial construct. So that's how people came, they drew those to lines on those maps and said, this is Kenya. What were they calling it? East African something, East African something, East African this. So there was this East African region which the British were controlling. So and that's where all these constructs began. So now, so the British have come, they have conquered our people. We were weak. Let's start from there. We were weak. They were better equipped in terms of armaments. They had better strategy. We were weak. So they came, they conquered us. Let's start from there. We were weak. Why were we weak? Because we were communities doing their own things, fighting one another. So that's what the British came and exploited. The Kikuyus were fighting with the Maasai. Okay, the Luos were fighting with the Nandis. The Kikuyus were sometimes collaborating, sometimes fighting with the Kambas. Kikuyus were sometimes collaborating, sometimes fighting with the Maasai. It was just everybody for themselves, and that's what they exploited, and they conquered us. So number one, they came and they took through cunning or through force. That's number one. So it was their land now because they took it. Their land. Now, when they took the land, the Kikuyu got pissed, right? And I'm going to talk about the Kikuyu nation because I'm from that community. I know many other nations. I know the Kalenjin also did their thing, the Maasai did their thing, the Kambas did their thing, but I'm going to concentrate on the Kikuyu because that's where I'm from. So the Kikuyu got pissed because this is ancestral land. This is where I have buried my father, and his father is buried there, and his father's father is buried there. And we are very, very, very uh, connected, and we value our ancestors. If you look at the way our society was structured, our ancestors had a very, very, very big role to play in my people's way of life. So my people's way of life. And now the bones of my ancestors, which are sleeping in the land of my ancestors, now people have come and they have taken over that land. Where the bones of my people, my forefathers, are sleeping, are resting. And that's what now pissed most of the Kikuyu. Now they decided, no, we cannot allow strangers to come and take the space, the land where our ancestors are sleeping. Where we have buried our ancestors, um, those who were lucky enough to get buried. Okay, but then remember, this is still the land of our ancestors because land was being given to the future generations. Okay, so you go when the family is big enough, you are allowed to go out into the nearby forest and clear land. Okay, so that land that you have cleared, and now you start working on it, now that becomes land of your people. And that's what the Mau Mau were fighting for. They were not fighting to liberate Kenya. They were not fighting for independence. They were just fighting to get their land back. So the Mau Mau did not form up to say, kujeni, hawa watu tunataka tuwafukuze, we need to be independent. Nobody even cared about independence. What they wanted was their land back. They did not care whether that white man left the highlands and went to the Maasai land and took over their land. They did not care. As long as you are out of our land, we are good. They did not care whether the white man got out of the highlands and went to the Kamba nation and took the land there. They did not care. That was not their problem. Their problem was get these people out of our land, out of the land of our ancestors. That's it. Now, these people now are fighting to get this land back. And then also remember, it's not only the highlands that were taken over by the white man. So even the Maasai from their end, there are those who collaborated, and there are those people who are like, no, we don't need these people around here because they are messing with our way of life. Remember, the Maasai were about raiding other communities, taking over their livestock and everything. Now, when the white man came, he put in laws. So if you went and raided another community and took their livestock, they will come after you with their guns to come after the livestock that you have stolen. And so now the white man was also disrupting the ways of life of the Maasai and disrupting the ways of life of the Kamba and of the Taita and of these people and those people. And that's what the people did not want. The people did not care about Kenya. They just cared about their little piece, their little village where they were living with their families, where they were doing their thing. They did not care about what happened huko inje. As long as what happened huko nje haiwa affect, they were good. So this thing of fighting for independence, that is revisionist history. Did whatever they were doing contribute largely to the independence of this nation we call Kenya? Yes, but that was not the goal. The Mau Mau would have cared less whether Kenya was free or not, as long as they got their land back and they were not interfered with by the white person. If the white person had said, you know what, we are going to draw a line around this mountain range where you people live. You do your thing, huko ndani. We won't care. We won't ask you. If you want to kill yourself, kill each other, huko, whatever. Kikuyus will not have cared what would have happened huko nje, as long as I disrupt maisha yao. That's number one. Okay? So it was selfish. I'm not saying selfish is bad. Selfish is very good. But it was selfish. We want our land back. Full stop. That's it. Just get lost. Even if you listen carefully to the songs that were being sung for the sons of Agikwe and Mombi who were in the forest, and their message was, let's kick the white man out of our lands, out of the lands of our ancestors. That's it. Now let's continue. And I know, like, for that one, a lot of people can see. They can see and say, I get where you're coming from. Now let's get into this thing that is going to cause a lot of people a lot of heartache and a lot of bile and a lot of ulcers and a lot of being pissed off. Uh, Jomo Kenyatta, of course, was not a freedom fighter. Jomo Kenyatta was a collaborator. Jomo Kenyatta benefited from his collaboration. Jomo Kenyatta did what he did. He set himself in a strategic position. He got what he got, and then he came and he grabbed the land. He grabbed everything that these people were fighting for, these people had died for. He grabbed everything. So he was not a liberator. He was just an extension of the white man. That's it. And up to there, I know very few people can disagree. There are those who will disagree because you can't have 100% agreement. Nothing is 100%. Once you see something as being 100%, that is already suspect. Nothing is 100%. Now, he took what he took from whoever he took it from, and then he gave power to whoever he gave power because they were friends. He did not go to the village and just said, you know what, you man, um, I see the way you have organized your family. You can be a very good leader. No, cronies, his friends, family, they got uh, the land and also got the political power, including Oginga Odinga, and that's where I'm going to come in. And being a person from the highlands, talking about this person from the lake, this is what is going to cause a lot of issues. But I'll say what I will say. And if you have any information contrary to what I am saying, we have an engagement. If I am wrong, I will apologize. I will come here and I will say, I said ABCD about the sons from the lake, and I'm wrong. I was set straight, and I apologize. I will come and do that. And if somebody can come and tell me, you know what you believe about Jomo Kenyatta is also wrong, I will say, okay, you've convinced me that what I thought about Jomo Kenyatta is wrong, and I will apologize. But until that happens, you can bring your feelings, you can bring whatever, just bring it on. Now, so he gave trappings of power to his friends and his cronies, and that's where a lot of these people's wealth come from. Look at the Kenyattas. Remember, when the white man was here, the only thing the people had was their land which they were paying tax on, the land which the white man did not want or was not interested in or could not take over. So people, let's just for simplicity, people had nothing. People had nothing. Some had a few shops here and there. Some were doing trade here and there because those things were happening. But you cannot say that during colonial period there was a person who could have been, called rich or wealthy, right? That's not something we can say. Ah, that video is shit. That camera is whoa. Camera is shit. But we continue. That is what we have. Um. Yes. So what was I saying? That we can't say there was somebody who was rich in terms of our what we call rich now. Of course, during those days they had a different um, maybe definition of rich, but now I'm talking about this like a person from the modern community. Okay, These people are not rich. But now, immediately after independence, people got extremely rich. And people don't pretend like they don't know what happened. They pretend like they don't know what happened. That's one thing that really pisses me off, because we all know what happened. They took over the businesses which were being run by the white people. They also took over the revenue collection, that it went to their pocket. And when I say they, I mean all of them, from the Kenyatas to the Odingas. Then Kenyatta died, Moi took over, Moi did his thing, and then he changed the constitution, took it back to single party state. Why? Because of his own personal benefit. His own personal benefit. And then there was a lot of agitation for multipartism and all these things. Everybody who was involved in all those things, everybody who was involved in that process, let me not say everybody because that would mean 100%. Most people, a majority of people, especially those people who were at that level, that high level, the Kiraitus, the Orengos, the Railas, the Matibas, the Shikukus, all all of them wanted a piece of this pie. They were not doing this for your benefit and my benefit. They were doing it ultimately for their benefit. The way I said, and that's why I started with the Mau Mau. What they did was um, selfish. I just want mine. I just want mine. And then because there were enough of them who wanted theirs, and then there were also other communities which also wanted theirs to get theirs back. Now, collectively, it became a fight for independence. But nobody came into this fighting for independence. No politician came into let's fight for multipartism because they did not want power. And to prove my point is immediately multi-party politics was reinstated. What happened? All of them ran for presidency. All these top people, the Kibakis, the Railas, the Shikukus, the Matibas, all of them ran for presidency. Nobody said, you know what? I was fighting for this. Imefika, let me retire. My battle is done. Asanteni sana. Now, guys, please, this is your space. Go take it up. No, all of them. And it was consistent until some of them were disabled to the point where they cannot do it anymore, thanks to the Nyayo House torture chambers, and thanks to M1's political ideology and how he did his thing. Some of them, uh, they were put through a lot of things, a lot of hardships, not because they were fighting for you and I, but because they were fighting for themselves. Now, what they were doing improved our democratic space. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. What they were doing improved our democratic space. Okay, it brought back multi-party politics. So I don't know about improvement, but let me just say that we have an illusion of having choice. Okay, so we have an illusion of having choice. But what they did for their own benefit. They wanted their, we want to open up this space so that I can also sit on that chair. Not like we want to open this space so that other people can sit on that chair. I don't care. I don't want that chair. I just think that it is important that, people just come and That's what I'm not saying it is wrong, that what they did was wrong. So now people will just come here because you start, they'll hear what they want to hear. I did not say it was wrong. I just said let us stop pushing this narrative that these people were fighting for us. No, they were fighting for themselves. It's just that what they were fighting for, so that they can have benefited the rest of us. That's it. That's the only thing I'm saying. So don't come and start singing these tributes to Jomo Kenyatta, vile alikuwa shujaa wa sijui wa nini. Don't come here start singing songs to Raila the way he's sijui the king or the father of democracy sijui nini. All these things were as a result of selfish pursuits which benefited Kenya. We benefited immensely. We benefited sana. And we thank all these people, especially those people who went after Moi. We thank you. Your selfishness is what is making us enjoy the freedoms we have today. So if we encourage people of means to have that kind of selfishness, be selfish, put your effort, put your life in the line, and go and fight all these things. Okay? But let us not lie that you're fighting for us. You're fighting for you, just that we are also benefiting from whatever umeenda kupata. So it's not about us. Because if it was about us and about Kenyans, hawa watu hawange kubali kukuwa tortured. Nyayo House hawange kubali. Because of Kenyans, who are Kenyans. But because I want this seat, I want this pregnancy, you do what you want to do to me. Because I know someday I will sit kwa hiyo kiti of power. Look at what the Kenyattas have done to us mpaka sahi. The way they have just fucked up everything. Yote nimesema itapatia watu wengi bail. But if we are honest, if you are honest enough and say, you know what, let us think critically about this. Huyu mtu ile vita anapigana ni yake ama ni yetu? Ni yake alafu inatu benefit ama anapigana juu yetu? Because if you are going to fight for all of us, if you are going to fight for Kenya, you don't care whether you get power or not. Right? If you're going to fight for Kenya and Kenyans, you don't care whether you get power or not. But if you're fighting for you, then of course you care whether you get power or not. We are thankful that in most cases, hizi vita watu wanapigana, we are unlikely beneficiaries. Unlikely ni ile yenye mnasemaga wanasemaga aje kufanya hizi experiments, unforeseen. Like even see what tuko kwa CSO, when you're running projects, you have these goals, but then there are other goals which you did not plan, but because of your project and what it was doing, there were other benefits which were not part of what you had planned to get. And it is okay. I'm not saying that people should not fight for what they want. I'm not saying that it is bad to be selfish. In fact, I want Kenyans to start being selfish. Each and every one of us has to be selfish because that's the only way we benefit. Right now, tuko na Ruto ndiye ameshika hii kiti. So you have to be selfish and ask ourselves, hii serikali ya Ruto itanibenefitaje mimi as an individual? Wachana na Wakenya. Wakenya is who? Wakenya ni nani? Who is Wakenya? If you just stood here and said Wakenya, kuja Wakenya, nobody will show up. But come here and call my name, I will come. You have to start being selfish. Just say, mimi, honestly, mi nataka kuona venye serikali yako inani benefit. Don't tell me about vile watu wa Mandera wana benefit, vile watu wa Nyeri wana benefit. Hiyo ni wao. Hiyo ni yao. Mimi siko Mandera, siko Nyeri. Siniambia vile watu wa Githurai wana benefit. Watu wa Githurai ni nani? Mimi ni mkazi wa Githurai lakini mimi ni individual. Okay, I know that ni impossible kila mtu kubenefit. But kwa nini kila mtu asitafute hii benefit? Ende ambie serikali, no, mimi hizi vitu mnashinda mkisema, okay, mnatengeneza barabara. Hiyo barabara inanibenefitaje mimi? Sawa, mmesema shule ni free. Inanibenefitaje mimi? Mmesema mnapea wamama loans. Do I look like a mumama? Mimi na benefitaje? Unapatia vijana loans. Mimi unakaa kijana. Mimi na benefitaje? Sawa, vijana okay, wamebenefit. Wamama wamebenefit. Wale watu wako na magari na mikokoteni na boda wamebenefit. Mimi na benefitaje? That is the way tuta move forward. Sawa? That is the only way tutasonga. By being selfish. You have to be selfish. Nimemaliza kitu ya bike. Sasa tusonge. Tusema ukiingia una like, una comment, please to engage. Usikuje tu hapa tu una watch tu, unacheka tu, unasema ona hiki kimrasa vile kinaongea vitu za ujinga, elewi nini inaendelea. Yani doesn't he know? Why don't you tell me? Ukiingia una like stream, una comment, una share, na kama huja subscribe una subscribe. Tukisonga. So now hii ni show yenye si uongea about different things. Tunatoka from huku tunaingia, tulikuwa tunaongea story ya Mandera kidogo kidogo na tukuta tuko Mombasa. So if umekuja hapa kusikiza coherent story, I'm sorry. Sasa tunaingia kwa issue ya mama wa kiroho. Si wa mama wa kiroho like that positive thing like nyimbo za kiroho where people go and sing hymns and stuff. Wa mama wa kiroho, yani wa roho chafu. Wacha niseme mabibi wenye roho chafu. Wacha tuingie hapo. Mabibi wenye roho chafu and especially my ex-wife. Kwa sababu watu ni watu wazima. Inafikaga mahali wanakosana. Umeishi pamoja, umetengeneza watu hii, mmekosana. So mbona time mimi na wewe tumekosana? Watu hii sasa ni wako. Mimi wanashindwa na hiyo story sana. Sasa juu tumekosana, watu hii ni wako. Mu asi understand hiyo concept. Mimi tu tumeishi pamoja, tumetengeneza watu hii ni wetu. Wakati tunaishi pamoja hao watu hii ni wetu. Lakini tukikosana, watu hii wanakuwa wako. Time yenye unafunga virago unaishia, watu hii ni wako. Unabeba na watu hii unaishia na watu hii. You go with the kids. Right? So when we are together, these are our kids. When we separate, they become your kids. And now you want to go with them because they are your kids. And you start saying shitty things like, I can't leave my kids with you. I can't leave my kids with you. And that's something you're telling the father of the children. That you cannot leave your children with him. So you're telling the husband that you cannot leave your children with him. Children which are also his, but now there is a separation. Now they are your children. And then you go. Then when you go, maisha inakupepeta, unaparara. Life gives you a good one. And then now suddenly the children are his. So the children started being yours, okay? Like collectively the two of you when you were married. You separated and then the children became yours. That's what you said. These are your children. And then you went with the children. And then when you went with the children, life gave you a good one. A very nice beating. Ikakuwekelea nyahunyo proper. And then suddenly, now the children are back to being his. They're not even like collectively yours, like yours and his. They're now his children. That's why now you start taking him to children's office. He's not taking care of his children. Ask him when was the last time he gave money to buy his children food. But they were just your children a couple of days ago. What changed? Why are women like this? And then these women will poison children against the father. And that's the shit that pisses me off the most. Okay? They will never tell the truth. That, you know what, I'm the one who walked off. I'm the one who stopped him from seeing you, because I understand there are men out here who don't want anything to do with their own children. But they are very small minority. Very small minority. A vast majority of fathers want to be involved in their children's life. A vast majority of fathers want to be involved in their children's life. But now, because you're separated or because you're divorced, now this woman will use the children against you, especially if she knows that you love your children. That is where she's going to plant the knife. So you'll not get visitation, you'll not see your children, and then you'll be taken in all manner of offices and courts and whatever administrative offices they will be, so that she can take advantage of your finances. So she will block you from seeing your children. She will block you. And then she'll go tell the children that your father does not want to see you. So she's the one who is stopping you from seeing the children. And then she'll tell the children that you are the one who is not interested in them. And now you have children who are growing up angry at their fathers. So angry at their fathers. A man decides, you know what? It's okay. These are my children. I believe they are my children. So they are not going to suffer. I will pay their school fees. I will take care of them, even if I'm not seeing them. But then guess what? This woman, when you pay school fees, she will not say that you are the one who pays school fees. She's going to say, you know what? I've been paying school fees for you. I've been buying you food. I've been taking care of you. And you are mannerless father doesn't do shit for you. So now children grow up very angry. No, why do we have to go through all this shit? Remember, ni mimi na wewe tumekosana. The problem is between you and I, not between the children and I. So why are you using why are you coming in between me and my children? And especially if you break up and then as a husband you remarry. Oh, the drama. So this woman went went. You did not chase her. She just decided, I'm tired. You have too much drama. Maybe you did something. Maybe you did not do something. Maybe she thought you did something, or maybe you did do something. And she's, I'm tired. I cannot deal with you. I am gone. And then she went. And then she said, these are my children. I'm going with them. And then she went with them. And then you stayed. You tried to follow up and, do what men do. I'm sorry, all these things. She said, I am tired. I don't want. You go live your life. Then the man decides, okay, let me just go live my life. Okay. So I'll be taking care of my kids, but I'm also going to get married because I need somebody to take care of me. But now when you get married, then that's also another problem. So she doesn't want you, but she also doesn't want you to be with someone else. She does not want you and also does not want you to be with someone else. And how does she show her displeasure? So you were just doing okay. You could go, you could take the kids, you could go with the kids. Maybe during the holidays, kids could come stay with you, but they're not in school. And then maybe over the weekends or random times, you can just, I need to see the kids. You just show up, you see the kids. But now that you're married, or now that you're in another relationship, all hell breaks loose. That's when she decides, I need more money. I'm too busy. You can't see my kids if I'm not around. So she starts putting in barriers. Now you cannot even see your own kids. just because you had the audacity to move on. What is happening? I really don't care, or men really don't care what you think about them as women. But the problem comes in when you now stop the man from engaging with his children because you are angry. And then you poison the children. Children are being poisoned even within in the marriage itself. I could understand if we are separated and you decide because I'm angry and all these things, okay, I'm going to poison the children against you. But there are women who are still with their husbands, but they find every opportunity to poison the children against their father. Your father doesn't do anything for you. Those clothes that you wear, I'm the one who buys. He does not even buy food in this house. He's a useless man. The only thing he knows how to do is to go out and drink and be with friends. He's the only thing he knows how to do is to go and sleep with other women. Stories upon stories upon stories upon stories. Stories that do not, hizi ni stories zenye as in watoto unaambia watoto wafanye wadu, and then now so men, we have this thing we call the red pill. Just know, once you understand the nature of women, then you will find ways to counteract those negative things that many women are predisposed to. A woman will poison your kids in your own house. In your own house. Turn the kids against you. And there is nothing you can do as a man. So what do? You become smart. Whether you are separated, whether you are still married, give you a scenario. Your child has been asked for something at school that needs um, some finance, some money. So the child reports to the mother. The mother tells you that, you know what, your son needs this and this and this. So, okay. So you go, you look for money. When you come back, just if you have one child, good. If you have multiple children, even better. When you're in the sitting room, just say, whatever you call your wife, whether you call each other babes or sweetheart or wewe, you, we, oya, whichever, call her. Tell her, so you told me that so and so needed something for school. So then, yeah, yeah. Then so and so is seated there. So when are you expected to take this thing? Then it's like, on Monday. Yeah, okay. So how much was it? All of them are there, even the kids who are not involved in this issue. How much was it? 500 shillings. So it's like, yeah. So here, you give the mother 500 bob. You tell, this is for his needs. You don't give the kid direct because the kid did not come to you direct. Kid went to the mom. But now you give the mom in the presence of the kid and all the other children. So now in future, if she starts those stories that your dad doesn't do anything, I've been doing everything for you. Welcome, Belinda. Pleasure to have you. It's another Sunday, and we are having our church service. So what about this man who is not prevented to see kids but still hawezi jiambia wacha nitume kakitu, wale wanaitwa deadbeat? I said that not all men are righteous. We have this type of men, but they are in the minority. And this is why I say they are in the minority. if you can sit down with a pen and paper, because I know if I say, they are in the minority, somebody will say, but I know so many of them who do this. Just sit down with a pen and paper, just make 2 columns. The deadbeat does I know, and the responsible does I know. The deadbeat does I know, and the responsible does I know. There is this thing about our brains that just sees negativity. Negativity is exposed to us because that's a threat. As animals and having lived in the wild, we are attuned to threats. This man who does not provide is a threat. So that's what we are attuned to. It's like women, the way they are attuned to violent men. See, you start seeing violent men everywhere. But then your brain does not process this these other men who are doing right, who are being righteous. They are crazy men out here. They are stupid men out here. I'm not saying they are not deadbeats. They are, but they are in the minority. And I'm not talking about those ones. I'm just talking about these who are in the majority, but who are stopped from getting access to their children because the mother has decided, this guy, wacha tu, he will know he does not know. That's what tunaambiwa, mtajua mjui. You will know you don't know. Yeah, there are a lot of bad men. Why lie? A lot of them, but they are in the minority. If you do that column thing, you will start seeing that kumbe watu nashindaga nikifikiria ni wengi hivi na kumbe hata hawezi jaza this column. The responsible ones watajaza na ukose mpaka space. It's because now ume focus mind yako kwa hiyo story. Okay? So that I was just giving, like, how do you counteract all those things? It's like, if you give the budget for food on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, it's just make sure inafanywa mahali open. When you are just all of you, maybe you are watching a movie, or maybe you're helping the kids do homework. As a man, do some of these things. Come in, let me see your homework book, and then just peruse. Yeah, even you even just give a compliment, because you will see, yeah, you're doing so well. This is very good. Hey, so I have a very bright son, have a very bright daughter. Very great. Then the other one who is challenged, because there will always be that one who is academically challenged if you have enough children. Then pia na letter yake with fear and shaking. You know the way the way the Bible tells us to go in front of God. Because now you are the God in your house. So anafaa kuja present this homework that he knows or she knows she has not done too well. So she comes with fear and trembling, and she sits there, and then you, okay, this is good. You are improving because you've been following up, or no. This what is happening? Huh? What is happening? Okay, come, let's sit down. Let's look at this. Help them do the homework. Connect those small things. Small things. If you are rich enough, and you have, or you are, because I know, yeah, if you are rich enough and you have these games in the house, either you have PC games, or you have PSs in the house, or Xboxes in the house, take time, play with them. Don't be the dad who comes anakambelea PS and he plays the whole night, ignoring children and everyone. Sit down, play with them a game or two, interact, create that rapport. You know why? Because once you create that rapport, if the woman decides now it's the time to start poisoning, that poison will not hold any ground. It will not. Because you will be there akihubiri, oh, your father this, your father that, and then the kids are like, the same father we know, ama tuko na baba mwingine. Yeah? They will not tell you that mom hapo naye unadanganya. No, they just listen, and then you will talk, and then you will say vitu zote, unajua papa he does not give money for food, and then the kid is like, but we see him in their head, they're like, but we see him giving you money for food. He does not pay school fees. Then they're like, but the other day when we were just seated here, we saw him giving you money to give us money for school fees. Even if she takes them, when you're separated and goes with them, kids will be like, unless our dad has changed, because we saw him doing all these things. And then you as the man, if especially if you are separated, go to the school yourself and pay yourself, and then keep the receipts, because you don't know the kind of stories your kids are being told. And children will always come when they are old enough. They will come to face you and tell you, you know what, I'm very angry at you. You are my father. I suffered through school because I didn't have this, I didn't have that. I was suffering. People were laughing at me. I was being chased away because of school fees. Like, what school fees? Here are the receipts. They're like, you mean you're the one who's been paying? Yes, I've been the one who's been paying school fees. Here are the receipts from your school. You know, I didn't have enough shopping, sijui nini. Just bank statement. It's like, no, look here. Here is the message from your mother. She said you needed 5,000 shillings for your shopping. This is the message. Look at the date. Look at this transaction. What date was it? Same day, following day, or maybe a week later. So you did not receive that shopping? No, I did not receive that shopping. So what did she tell you? She told me that you did not send the money. But you can see I sent the money. So as a man, you have, stop being played by these women. If you listen to Akina Belinda here, you will utapotea. As a man, utapotea. Look at this thing logically. How do you deal with a person who you know might lie? For you to have evidence that you are doing what you're supposed to do. And also involve, if you're going to pay school fees, for example, kama ni boarding school, na umeenda kulipa school fees, so umeingia kwa ofisi, tell the principal you need to see your daughter or your son. They say ako class, I am paying school fees, I can decide kumtoa sahi class na tuende naye nyumbani. What do you mean? Tell the child I want to see them, and they will release the child to you. Then kuja kwa ofisi, then you talk, ulinunuliwa shopping? Asijanunuliwa. No, but I sent your mom money. What is happening? Can you talk to your mother? Ndio hii simu, call her. Where is your shopping? Because I did provide. I'm here to pay. I've paid school fees, so now nobody should threaten you. Nini nini. So the kid knows. So akirudi nyumbani, the mom is like, unajua baba yako nini nini. Then the kid is like, but baba alilipa fees. They are. I'm not saying that they are. Hakuna wanaume hiyo type. Wako. Kuna pia wanaume that type. Wako. But madam, the women, they are more likely to behave that way than men. Because for men, they deal with it in a physical sense. That's why you see a lot of men um, delete themselves, because there are a lot of things which they cannot. Belinda, Mungu akuonekanie. May God visit you and visit you with roho ya huruma. But I can't disagree. There are a lot of immature men also out here. And also, there are also a lot of men who don't know what to do. How do I deal with this? And that's why hii channel iko hapa. Kuchanuana. You know? Yeah, yes, it's true. You are called helpers. So can we say that if your man is a failure, it's because you have also failed as a helper, that you're not helping the man be the best he can be. Can we also say that? I think that can also be that is also, that can also be we can infer that way. Yes, it's true. There are men who don't allow their wives to help them. Then there are women who don't help their men. So women, there are men who are so arrogant that they say they don't need men to help them think about anything. The way I look at it, in terms of especially a marriage or a committed long-term relationship, because there are a lot of people, these days people don't, let's not give what we have a title. Let's not. Let's just live life. So for those people, um, you are a man. The way I think about it is, I take care of the logical stuff. You take care of the emotional stuff. I take care of the logical stuff. You take care of the emotional stuff. So if I have this decision, if there is an emotional problem that needs solving, you come in and help me to see that emotional component, because maybe I can't perceive it. Maybe I can't perceive it. So you come in and you assist me see that emotional aspect. So if I'm about to make a decision that has emotional impact, then you assist me in seeing that emotional impact. And then you leave the logical things to me, because I see logic. I see how this thing connects to that thing that connects to that thing that connects to that thing. Let me do the logical stuff. I let you do the emotional stuff, or I let you assist me with the emotional stuff. And then you, as the wife, you let me assist you with the logical stuff. You take care of the emotional stuff and let me assist you in the logical stuff. Because women are very logical, and it's okay. We can't expect them to be logical. That's not how they are wired. And men are very logical, so we can't expect them to be emotional. And that's the problem, because now we want an emotional man, and men can't process emotions the way women process. There is this thing I watched Juicy on YouTube, where this blue-haired radical feminists decided men are having it easy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretend to be a man. So these women who, unless you look at their various attributes, wanakaga tu wanaume. She was that type. So she decided, I think men have it easier. Let me do an example. Karibu sana Ford. OT, welcome Ford Otino. So she said men are having it easier. So let me pretend to be a man and get into the dating market. Alipigwa character development proper, because women were not, she had difficulties approaching women, because now the way, if you are single, you have to approach a woman. Like, you have to have the courage to approach a woman, and then you also have to have the courage to expect a rejection. Or how do you deal with a rejection? Because more often than not, you will be rejected. Now, how do you approach a woman in a way that is not creepy, in a way that she'll remain interested, and in a way that you won't feel like you've violated her? Because you see, that's what feminists say. I mean, you guys, when you approach us, you take us as sex objects. Sometimes we are not in the mood. Why can't you read the signs? So she decided, let me put this into effect. And she was super miserable. Because the moment she approached a woman would be like, God damn, what the hell? Like, can't you see I'm busy? I don't want to talk to you. Please leave me alone. So she was rejected, either verbally, or she could see the facial expression of this woman thinking like what the fuck is this person doing? Huh? If I wanted to be bothered, I would have gone to Jiwabi. And this is, at the end, this is what she said. Men have it hard. Men have it hard. And there is this line she said, I thought that a woman in a man's body was the best man. The best man was a woman in a man's body. Until I realized that actually most women want the a man's man. You know, this wao watu wenye wanatu approach tunakasirika ndio tunataka. It's just that he's the wrong one. But when the right one approaches me, so let me allow these wrong people to keep approaching me until the right one comes. She found it very hard. So we have different dynamics, and that's why it's beautiful. That's why a relationship of man and woman is beautiful. Super beautiful. Now wacha tuone kama tutaingia Sudan. Hapa Sudan something happened. Something very interesting happened. Huh? Let me see. Let me just share. Let's have this conversation. So this happened. Hapa tu kwetu Sudan hapa. Huh? This happened. Um hmm. A woman, a mother from Twik Mayardit community in South Sudan gives birth to twin white kids, blames her Dinka husband for drinking too much milk. These are the dramas that as men you are being exposed to. So this chick went and did her thing with a white person. And then she got twins. And now she is saying that the husband took too much milk, and that's why this kid is white. That's why these kids are white. That is her explanation. Now, when I shared this story, I don't want to like scroll kwa hii story because like I don't want to like these guys to feel like I'm mulikaing them. So there was this very good friend of mine. So when I shared this story, a lot of men were like, "Hey, okay, so this is what is happening." So guys got what is happening. But now this chick came and I don't think she was trolling, although she's also very good at that. So I can also say that maybe she was just making fun of me because that's what Facebook is for anyway. So she came and she said that these kids might be albinos or albinos for those people who are in the West. And I said, I don't see how, because if you look at the children, if you look at hiyo kuna shade fulani hapo, look at the eyebrows. The eyebrows are black because albinos or albinos, they have they have this thing. And then another one just brought this whole issue. No, it's not an albino. Look at the dini. Look at the eyebrow. Look at the eyebrow. Eyebrow is black. It's not an albino. And then somebody said ancestral gene. Exactly venye Belinda umesema. What ancestral gene? What ancestral gene are we talking about? Because some things, yes, is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Hell no. I mean, what are these? What is it called? What is the chance? What is the mathematical chance? The probability that this gene will, is it possible? I'm not saying it's not. But what is more probable? More probable is that this woman found herself a white meat, and she consumed, and she got pregnant. Because honestly, we know. Let's just look at the nini of the mom. So she's from this community. Okay. Look her at her melanin. And then in especially in South Sudan, the melanin inakuwaga juu. Inakuwaga juu. So what is the probability that this is what happened, that this ancestral gene kicked in now? Some things, let's be honest. I'm not saying that yeah, it could happen, because now that would be stupid of me. But then also, unless tests zimefanywa na tumeascertain that this is the ancestral, because it is very simple, just do a DNA. And then if that's what is happening, then at least now you know. Or look at your family. Kuko na albinos. No, men do not fear DNA. Women do fear DNA. Men don't fear DNA. Women are the ones who fear DNA, because the woman knows what she has done. If the woman is honest enough and say, you know what, I did not do this, let's go for DNA, then we go. And then if the DNA says that the probability that I'm the father is this percent, is this much percentage, then I'm like, I need to investigate what is it in my family that has this, or in her family that has this. But more often than not, the woman knows what she did. And she knows that this is a product of whatever she did. So she's going to gaslight you. She's going to bring in red herring explanations. She's going to tell you how much you don't love her, you don't trust her. Why are we doing DNA? You don't trust me. How can we continue when you don't trust me? I mean, don't you see that I'm the mother of your kids? And then let's just look at whatever she used as an explanation. She just said, let me see. Yeah, she just said that it's because the husband was drinking too much milk. She blamed the cows. We stop blaming dogs for eating our homework. Now we are blaming cows. Hiyo maziwa unakunywa ndio imefanya umezaa watoto white. So one of my friends came in and said, then we need to encourage more Sudanese men to drink milk. Then also we need doctors like Belinda to come and tell us, how many liters of milk do I have to drink to get a white baby? And then I start keeping count, just in case this happens to me, or this happens to a friend of mine. And then I just ask, we wanaume tunaanza ku keep track ya how many liters of milk we are drinking, because if umefika liter 200 ama liter 500 ama 5,000, you start having white kids. You start having white kids, bruh. So huku nje kuna hekaya mingi sana za abunuwasi zinaendelea. Hekaya za abunuwasi, they are just too many. Huyu ameamua this one, wacha tu nilaumu, labda anapenda kunywa maziwa, wacha nimwekelee ngori na stori ya maziwa. Hii nitaweka tu headline. Mimi sitaki story mingi, ati tuende, there is a Woye story here. So nataka tuangalie some of these stories quick fast tukisonga, and then we see what is happening in the world of in our world. Social media is beautiful because social media inakuja inakufunza vitu mob sana of what is happening pale nje. Yeah? What is happening pale nje. Sasa hii hapa ndio tuko. This is where we are at. Huh? It is time to cut single moms some slack. Wamama single mothers wamekumbukwa. Wacha nianze kuchoma. Unless ni situation mahali mtu alikulazimisha ukakula ngano na yeye. Acha nirudie. Unless ni situation mtu alikulazimisha ukakula ngano na yeye. Unless ulikuwa mtoto. Hizo vitu mbili. Mtu akulazimisha ukakula ngano naye ni ulikuwa mtoto. So uko unajua nini inaendelea. Mtoto, that means ulikuwa under 18. And let's just say under 16 because kuna two arguments ama kuna two things that cannot hold true at the same time. Kuna arguments mbili that can't hold true at the same time. Number one, we can't say that women mature faster physically, psychologically, and emotionally, and still say that you dem alikuwa 16 years so alikuwa mtoi. Legally, yes, but we also need to make up our mind. We cannot say that girls mature faster physically, emotionally, and psychologically, and they are years ahead. I know some people say 5 years, some people say 7 years ahead of their male counterparts, and still call a 16-year-old a child. Legally, yes, because there is that legal threshold of 18 and above. But so if you're saying let's just say 3 years. If girls mature faster, if girls mature faster than boys, that means, and if let's not give it 5 years that they are 5 years ahead, let's just say 3 years. Let's just cut the 5 by half. So a 16-year-old actually akona mindset ya what? A 19-year-old. So in terms of her reasoning. So legally she's underage, but psychologically and physically she's an adult. So we cannot hold those two to be true. It's either wewe ni mtoto or wewe ni mtu mzima. You can't be a child and also be an adult. That's an oxymoron. You can't have a child adult. You can't be a child and be an adult. So now, let me just come back and say, unless you are forced into having intercourse by this, what are these things? This, as prescribed under the Sexual Offences Act of 2006, if I'm not wrong, the year 2006, then you cannot say that you need to be cut some slack. First of all, you need to take accountability because you got pregnant because you wanted to get pregnant. Let me repeat that. You got pregnant because you wanted to get pregnant. Number one, women control access to sex and womb. Women control access to sex and their womb. So you just let some idiotic man who you did not correctly vet to impregnate you. And you carried the pregnancy to term. The pregnancy of this person now you are calling deadbeat. You did not correctly vet these people. So now, that means that we cannot trust your reasoning. We cannot trust the way you make decision, your decision making ability is already to. And I know this one is going to dunga people a certain way, but then let's keep it 100%. You need, as women need to vet the people they sleep with, and women need to vet the people they sleep with raw even more, because sahii tuko na CD hai. Ukisikia mkuno unaenda unatafuta mtu wa kukukuna, but you make sure unatumia protection, una make sure that umetake care ya biashara yako in such a way that haitakuacha kwa mataa, because like I said the last stream, a man sex kama ni 10 minutes, that's it. After 10 minutes amemaliza. A woman 10 minutes could translate into 18 years and above, hiyo 10 minutes. So mimi hakuna time yenye 10 minutes itanigeuka into 18 years unless I am married to that person. Unless I'm married to that person, then we can say I am the husband. So yeah, I know I am already tied to this woman for life. So what is 18 years? Sasa wewe uko single na ndio hiyo wewe unalala na watu huku nje, utumie hata CD, and then now you come and expect us to have sympathy for you. How? No, hakuna sympathy. First of all, we just say, you know what, you fucked up here, because if you don't accept that, then utashinda ukitusumbua. That's why you see people having 3, 4, 5 kids with different men. I'm like, okay, tuassume mtoto wa kwanza alikuwa ni mistake. You can't keep making the same mistake. Like, how do you keep making the same mistake over and over? Umefikaje baby number 5 na ujaolewa? How umefikaje baby number 5 na ni different? Hata tu assume tu ni the same man. So ukapata mtoto wa kwanza hakukuoa, ukampatia mtoto wa pili hakukuoa, ukapatia mtoto wa tatu hakukuoa. Like, what idiocy. So we are not cutting anyone any slack. This is like saying let's cut broke men some slack. Women will disagree. They will say no, hakuna kucut broke men some slack. You either shape up or you ship out. Why can't we keep it 100 and keep the same mentality when it comes to these other things? No, we don't need to cut you some slack. And somebody wiser than me said, you can't do better than your baby daddy. So don't think you can go and have children with akina Mwegas hapa, people who can't even afford to buy a good webcam, and then now expect now that you are raising his baby, he can't even afford to give you child support, he can't afford to do anything, aliruka hiyo mimba, and then now you expect to go and get married to a man of means. Mkitoana naye wapi? Mkitoana naye wapi? Has it happened? Yes. But is it the norm? Hell no. Hell no. That's why you see a lot of women wanaenda wana deposit mtoi ocha kwa wazazi wao, anarudi kwa soko, anajifanya yeye ako childless. And then once she lands a dude ana wamekaa miaka kadhaa, that's when the guy discover like, god damn, huyu ni nani anakuja na kuita mom? This person who looks older than you that's calling you mom. And that's when now you start, oh, let me tell you babe, you know, sijui nini. Now we are not going to cut you some slack, because if you say we cut you some slack, inamaanisha we want you to excuse you for what you did. You see, inakuwaga poa mtu anasema you know I fucked up hapa, naye nimekubali I fucked up, so now my expectation wacha iteremke. Shida inakuwaga women have this high expectation, especially on men, and they don't want men to have a high expectation on them. This woman will have 3, 4 kids with different men and still expect kuolewa na somebody who is 6'2", who is well muscled, who is making so much money, who is single and childless. The audacity. Uko na watoto 5, unataka kuolewa na mtu ana watoto? No, I mean somebody with kids is a turn off. For me, I want somebody who is single, who is wealthy, who will take care of me and my kids. Something women need to understand is the way we view kids. Like if you logically look at kids, they are an expense. They are not an investment. Or rather, my kids are a shaky investment. I'm not sure that the investment will bring me returns. So I'm gambling on my kids. Kids that are not mine are an expense, 100%. Because I have no expectations on them and they have no obligations to me because I'm not their father. I'm not their father. So they are not expected to do nothing for me. So to me, they are an expense because si wanaishi kwa ile nyumba yenye nalipa rent. Even if you are paying you are paying their school fees and stuff, but wanaishi kwa nyumba yenye nalipa rent, wanakula chakula nanunua. So already they are an expense to me, an expense that hiyo ni do irudi, so that it's not even an investment. My own kids, they are a shaky investment because maybe haitarudisha ile yenye unasemaga hiyo ilichomeka, hiyo ni call box, but at least they have the capability, or there is a chance that they can turn into a good investment. So this thing, if you know wewe ni single mother, stop having the same expectation as a woman who is young and childless. Wachana nayo. Kama unajua ushapiga miaka 30, stop having expectations of a 20-year-old. That's when nasema women are illogical. Mimi kama sikumaliza class 8, I can't expect wakati Safaricom wameweka a vacancy ya MD ama CEO, I can't expect ati nita apply na nipewe hiyo kazi, na mimi hata sikumaliza hata class 8. That is illogical. So kama wewe ni demuko 30 ama unaelekea 30 na ujaolewa, stop having a 20-year-old's expectations. A 20-year-old can have whatever expectations she wants because she has time to get over them, or she has time to revise them, or she has time to get what she wants. Weka ni single mother, wacha kukuwa na expectation ya dem mwenye ako 20 years na ako childless. Amko kwa ligi moja, amko ligi moja. No man is looking for you. No man is out here looking for you. In fact, you should be out here looking for men. Wewe unafaa kutoka uende utama kutafute bwana, and don't have expectations of a 20-year-old who is young and childless. Don't. Tafuta somebody who mwenye amebeat kama wewe, mupambane na maisha. Mmo kudunga watu. I can't be having a stream now. People are not causing. I want people to come and catch feelings, because we have the safe one at 9 p.m. The one where people come and they are nice, they use nice language, and they don't want to offend. This one is here to cause offense. Kwa hapa kuwa offend, because we have to tell each other the truth. Wewe kama wewe ni single mother, usikuwe na expectation ya mtu mwenye ako young na ako childless. It's like you being a broke dude and wanting to go and date socialite. Akina Huda, akina sijui nani, these socialites, akina Aziad, that now you are broke. Wewe kazi yako ni kubeba mizigo pale Gikomba and you want to date akina Aziad. It will never happen. Wewe kama wewe ni wa kubeba mizigo, like teremusha expectation yako. We know that as men. Tuache. Now, kuna two people who just, I think sijui ni kifo inakuwaga inawaita. there are people just out here who huh, it's like they have this thing where death is just calling out to them, like unasikia tu ancestors wako wanakuita, like you ukiitwa unaitika kwa nini? Huh? Why are you doing some of the things that will make people take your life? And then now you start kutusumbua huku. Now we are out here, we are out here. I saw this story and nilisha nguvu. I just ended energy. My niece just decided to not have energy. Yaani magoti yangu ilikosa nguvu kabisa kabisa kabisa, ilikosa nguvu kabisa. Women, stop doing this. This is something that I am yet to meet a man who read this story, and especially a married man with kids who read this story and did not just feel a certain kind of way. Because this is not just cruel. This is being vindictive. This is vindictiveness. And these are some of the things that make men want to go to jail. These are some of the things that make men prefer to go to jail. Do you remember that story of that guy who decided to ask his girlfriend, to ask him, and alikuwa Eldoret hiyo dem ama alikuwa wapi, and the guy came all the way sijui from Thika or somewhere. These are some of the things that make a man want to go to jail, and we know what happens to men in jail. It is not pretty what happens to men in jail. For some of these things, a man would rather face himself being violated in jail than have to go through this. 5 kids are not biologically yours, and now you are discovering it 20 years later that the kids you thought were yours are no longer yours. What kind of pain, what kind of anger do you think this man has? What kind of anger do you think this man has? And then you see people saying, yes, just go and do DNA test to your kids and everything and all that. Noted. That's the logical thing to do. But it does not excuse this other person who did what she did. And the worst part about this whole story is not his pain, it's the way people were responding to the story. But you could see that they were women who, more often than not, or probably who are larger probabilities that they have lied to their husbands that the kids they are raising are theirs, and they know that the kids are not their husbands, or there are these weak men who are being raised today. Some people were saying the children are innocent. Okay, taken. So these are still your kids. How are they still his kids? He's not their father. He's not their father. There's a difference between somebody who goes and adopts somebody else's child, knowing that this child is not mine. I am making a logical rational decision that I've thought out clearly into marrying this woman who is coming with a child who's not mine. I know this child is not mine. I know this child is an expense. I know this child is a liability. But because I want the mother, then these are risks I'm willing to take. But me married to a woman, and then the woman gives birth to 5 kids, and then those 5 kids are not yours. This is why I just say, if I was in a jury and this case came and this man did whatever to this woman, I will just set him free. I just say whatever she did cannot be commensurate, or whatever you did to her cannot be commensurate with what she did to you. She still owes you a debt. You see women saying, "Oh, those are still your kids. You have to be responsible. Don't worry, as long that the kids don't know." No, we have this thing where if this is not my blood, and you told me it is my blood, but now I know it's not my blood, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. And in fact, I don't want anything to do with you. That's where now you, as a 40 whatever year old or a 50-year-old woman, now you got divorced, and he has decided, especially men who are wise enough to take the measures that men take to protect their property, then now you and your kids, you're not inheriting anything from this man, because this man was working this hard to give his children something. And now that they're not his children, then these children should go looking for their father to give them something. And I bet the mother of these children is still in touch with the father of the children. So, women, there are things you do to men, there are things you do that I don't want to say that make like you are deserving, but I would like, you really have to convince me that this man did wrong. If he ever did anything to his wife, you have to really, really, really convince me. You have a very hard task. It's be very uphill for you to come and convince me that whatever this man will do to his wife is wrong after she did this. There are few things men can forgive you for cheating. There are men who can forgive you for cheating, but men cannot forgive you for cheating and having children with the person you cheated with. Men cannot forgive that. And not just one. Imagine one, two. One is unacceptable. Then you add another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. No. This hii imeshapita place ya this is unacceptable to like this. Now you are at the mercy of whatever he decides to do to you. And then the guy is 57-year-old. So tuseme amefungwa life imprisonment. Atafungwa how many years? Atasurvive for how long? Already he's like what? 13 years to the Rudy 65. Life expectancy ya men. Say I think it is at 60 or 65. Mostly 70. So if it is at 70, that is 23 years. If it is at 60, that's 3 years. If it is at 70, it's 13. A guy, where is the Sabu going? It's 13 years. So you lock me up for life, and I'm going to die at 70 for 13 years. I'm good to go. Let's go to jail. Let us go to jail. Why? Why though? Why do this? It is unnecessary. It is super, super, super unnecessary. Now I want to talk about weak men. Before we go into the other last thing or second last thing I talk about. We are at 47, yeah. So hii stream inaisha at exactly 1 p.m. At exactly 1 p.m. I want to wrap up. This thing is supposed to go for an hour, but the way I love the sound of my voice. Wow. Of course, today niko na charger, so weak men. And I want to talk about the last election. Because now it's the last election, because already the process is done. We have a president elect. The next election is at, God willing, 2027. Nothing happens hapa katikati. In throughout all these things, I have come to discover that Kenya has been at the hands of a weak man. Our commander in chief has been a very weak man. And there is nothing as dangerous as a weak man. I'll take an authoritarian anytime over a weak president. I will repeat, I will take an authoritarian president anytime over a weak president. Because a weak president is indecisive. He had the audacity to come in front of us and tell us that his government loses 2 billion Kenya shillings per day. 2 billion Kenya shillings per day. So in 10 days, 20 billion. In 100, 200 billion. 100 is barely 3 months and a week, or 3 months. Yeah, 3 months and a week, give or take. So in a quarter, the Kenyan government was losing 200 billion Kenya shillings because we had a weak man at the helm. The people saw his weakness, they took advantage, and they looted public coffers. This weak man also decided that he can tell people who to vote for. Imagine that. You are weak. You have seen your weakness. And now you want me, a person who does not entertain weakness, to vote for somebody you weak person is telling me to vote for. In which world? In which world? Dunia gani? This person has been whining day in, day out. Listen. You said, you told us that your deputy was a thief. You knew he was a thief. And you did nothing. Let me repeat that. You told us your deputy was a thief. You knew he was a thief. That's what you were telling us. You, being the president, did nothing. What idiocy is that? So, you want us to do your work for you. You want us to do your work for you. Oh, I can't hand over power to thieves. No, hold up, hold up, hold up. You've been with this guy for 10 years in government. The ballot paper had your picture and his picture in 2013 and 2017. Your picture and his picture. So you are voting for you as a couple. You are voting for you as a couple. Now you come to tell us that he's a thief. And you did nothing as the most powerful man in Kenya. You did nothing. And you still kept him as deputy president. So this president thought that he was saying something very profound, that he was saying something that was very eye-opening. But when I was listening to him, all I saw was a whining child throwing tantrums. This is what I expected from this guy. This is what I expected from this guy. The current incumbent presidency is um, to come. So let's assume that he did not know his deputy was a thief. He has just discovered this guy has been siphoning money and stealing everything. It's to come. Call a press conference and say, fellow Kenyans, I apologize. First of all, start with an apology. I want to apologize because I did not do my due diligence when I was, you know, coupling up with this person, partnering with this person for this presidency. I should have done my due diligence. I chose a person who was of loose morals, who has been stealing your money. And that's why, as the president, I am firing him. That's why no, actually, don't fire him. That's why, as a president, I am dissolving my government. How about that? Let's start from there. I should have done my due diligence, and that's why I am dissolving this government. Because I've discovered that the person I partnered with to form this government is a thief. I am dissolving this government. I call on whichever now the speaker will hold the government, hold brief for the government as IEBC prepares for a presidential election so that we get a president. He did nothing of that sort. So he knew he was partnering with a thief. Or he told us that his deputy was a thief, but he did nothing. So that's weakness. You're a weak man. And then he would whine every time. Say, talk shit about this deputy. Now, this is where men need to learn. What did the deputy do? The deputy just got a gun for hire as his deputy. When he wanted to, he put his heart in the race and said, I will vie for presidency. In his selection of the person who will deputize him, he got a gun for hire. Like, your role is to ensure that that idiot, whatever that idiot says, you rubbish it and you attack. You are an attack dog. Go after him. Because I cannot. Because technically, I'm still the deputy. But you go after him. And that's where you saw the running mate of Ruto was ruthless when it came to Uhuru. People were asking, why is this guy so bitter? No. He was just doing his job. And that's why you remember during the debate between Rigathi and Mother Karua, his job was only to attack. Go after Karua, go after Karua, go after Azimio, go after, rubbish Uhuru. Just make sure you bring in the name of Uhuru when you're answering a question. Attack him. That was his job. Because our commander in chief, CIC, showed himself to be weak. He would whine. He would cry on cameras and tell us how he's had it rough. What do you want me to do? Mnataka nifanye nini? Wanakula bilioni zenyu kila siku. Nini? Mnataka nifanye nini? Dissolve the fucking government. Just come. Already, you have the power to suggest or to, through your AG. You have an AG to run investigations. Mjue Bungomo wanakula ngapi. Kisumu wanakula ngapi? Nyeri wanakula ngapi? Kirinyaga wanakula ngapi? Murang'a wanakula ngapi? Nairobi unapoteza pesa ngapi? Then just come during the press conference, just say governor wa Mombasa amepoteza bilioni 20. Governor wa Bungoma amepoteza 5. Governor wa Nyeri amepoteza bilioni 10. Governor wa huku wamepoteza bilioni hizi. Just table it, tuambie wamepoteza ngapi each county government. Then say kwa national government, office of the presidency, tumetafuna 100 billion. Ofisi yangu imeiba 100 billion. Ofisi ya mdogo wangu imeiba 300 billion. Hii ofisi ya Bwana Ruto imeiba 300 billion. Ofisi ya Uhuru Kenyatta imeiba 150 billion. Ofisi ya speaker wa bunge National Assembly imeiba 250 billion. Just numerate it for us and then say, in lieu of these facts, I can no longer lead the government in good conscience. And so, I am resigning as the president and dissolving the executive branch of this government. Now uende. And then useme, I will be at the mercy of the courts. We need to come and prosecute everybody. Kila mtu, if you find that nimeiba mimi kama Uhuru Kenyatta, take me to court. Tell me I will pay or munifunge jela. But he was weak. He decided to come and throw tantrums and crocodile tears, and that's why nobody was taking him seriously. That's why even in Mount Kenya, people are like tired. Cannot be led by weak men. The story of weak men. So let's talk about another weak man. Tumemaliza mambo ya executive. Tukumbuke hizi ni opinions. If you have opinions to the contrary, unakuja tunaongea, and if I find that I'm wrong, I'll come here and apologize. Then let's look at this other weak man. Kifunga. We should stop being weak as men. Weak men are the problem. We are the people who are making these women run roadshot over us because we are not strong enough. Now, let's just look at this headline. My wife accuses me of being gay and refuses to apologize. If as a man, you have to write this thing to the newspaper to ask people for advice, we will just meet as men and revoke your license. As a man, we just revoke it. Tuseme tu wewe si mwanaume, please go join the daughters of Jezebel. If your wife disrespects you this much to accuse you of being gay, I'll take it two sides. Number one, you are gay and your wife has found out, and she believes you are gay. Number two, your wife knows that you don't like mambo ya gays, and so she knew that the best or ile matusi itakudunga usikie ni kuitwa gay, because these women know us, and I like aitagwa nani huyu this comedian who's very short apart from Cat Williams, aitagwa nani, it's the one who does a lot of movies with Dwayne Johnson. So jina yake iko hapo kwa tipi ya tangi yangu. Anyway, there is this story he tells about these people having dinner, and then they were arguing, and the way women will throw something at you that you have no comeback for. So maybe she knew that you don't like storygaism, and she knew that akikwita we ni gay, this one will hurt you the most. Now, in those two scenarios, you should be the man of the house. If you are gay, you should just come out and tell your wife, I am gay. Yes, I am sorry. Do the right thing. Wacha kushinda ukimsumbua. Kama wewe ni mtu kama ni Batman, wewe ni Batman. Wacha kusumbua madem. Wacha kusumbua bibi. Wacha asonge, atafute mtu mwenye atakuwa pande yake. Si lazima uende ngumo kama si wa ngumo. Kama unaishi Kawangware, panda gari ya Kawangware. Now, the second scenario, if you are not gay and she did that to hurt you, you should not be asking her to apologize. That's the wrong thing to do. Just tell her to pack and leave. Simple. And if you are living kwa nyumba ya kupanga, just you can also pack and leave as the man. Nimwambia okay, nimekwambia pack and leave, you have refused, have the house. Because this is too disrespectful. There is nothing that pisses a heterosexual man off than being called gay. And if she knew that this was your weak point, this is the nerve that if she touches, you go ballistic, and she touched it, then that means she does not respect you. So why are you living with a woman who does not respect you? Why are you messing with a woman who does not respect you? Why are you still married to a woman who does not respect you? So don't come asking us for advice, Junini. If you want to live with a woman who does not respect you, endelea kuishi na yeye. Stop, wacha kutusumbua. I am sick and tired of these people coming to us with stupid questions that has very simple answers. Two things. I still love her, I want to live with her. So then live with the insults. Stop disturbing us. No, I want to live. Come on. So unataka tufanye tukupe fare? Ama unataka tufanyie nini? What do you want? Nikisema nataka kuhama lakini sina fare. Ama nataka kurudi kwetu lakini sina fare. Tukupatie fare. Sawa? Sema unataka fare. Simple. If the wife did that because she knew that was a raw nerve she was touching and she wanted to disrespect you, so you have two options. Do you still want to keep the wife, or do you want to move on? If you want to move on, move on. If you want to keep the wife, keep her. Stop, wacha kutusumbua. Hii sasa hii utaadvise mtu aje? Sasa tukuje tuambie bibi yako akuapologize. Now how do we even start? Kama haezi ku respect we enough, wewe ndio bwana yake, to listen to you, to apologize. Sisi hata tusikizaje? And we also have our own problems in our own houses. So why should we be concerned about issue ya nyumba yako? Huh? You should be telling us, I've decided to leave her, but issue ni watoto. What do I go about securing my kids? Then now we can talk about it and give you tips. But now hatujui whether unataka kumwacha, whether unataka abaki, because now we won't think for you. We are not, wakati unaenjoy bibi yako tukuage hapo. Or else just open up your house, and then all men who want to be part of your family can come and sleep with your wife, and then now you can all be married. So when you have problems with your wife collectively, now you can ask each other, msaidiane. How about that? Thank you very much everyone for watching. This is like 2 hours 6 minutes. Takafunga hii show so that I go niende ni, I wash my mind, so that I come at 9 p.m. because we have a very nice show. Today we are going to talk about how men process heartbreaks, because kuna a lot of myths and misconceptions huku nje about heartbreaks and men. So join me at 9 p.m. with Collins Omondi as we talk about men and heartbreaks. I'm telling you, we are going to tell you what happens 100%. Tutafungua servers. So thank you for Otieno, Belinda, asanteni sana kwa kujoin, and everybody else who joined a live stream. Tuonane Sunday pia kwa kanisa. we do this because at 20 church. Sunday at 11, we meet here, we do our service, we talk, we engage, alafu tunasonga. Asanteni sana and kwaherini.